middle of April, and I am packing my junk to go to Alaska for 10 days of black bear hunting. Plan on killing something? Need a knife. So I'm doing this on my own. I gotta pack everything you can think that you're gonna need for 2 guys and a camera guy for 10 days that you can fit in an airplane. And I gotta do it today. Even though it's 2 weeks before I leave, I'm gonna load this in coolers and I'm shipping it to Alaska. So it'll be there when I get there. But that's the excitement of it. Somehow, amongst all this junk here at the galactic headquarters of On Your Own Adventures, I gotta sort out the few little pieces that I need that I can fit in 2 coolers for 10 days. Good luck. Last leg, we're in Juneau, we're off to Petersburg, and then we're going bear hunting. You ready to go? I'm ready, let's go.
When Randy first called me to come up to Southeast Alaska bear hunting, I was so excited, not for the fact of bear hunting, but for him and I to be able to catch up. Randy and I grew up together in a small town of Big Falls in northern Minnesota. You get older, you kind of lose touch sometimes.
Nice of me to leave you with the easy stuff, eh, Joe? Right here, what you see, this is Petersburg, Alaska, and it looks wild, big, open, crazy. It is like ground zero for black bear hunting in Southeast Alaska. The logistics of this hunt are way more complicated than they were last year.
Flows around 36. Northwest wind 10 miles an hour shifting to the southeast.
I've rented a skiff, just like I did last year. But this year, Alaska is cracking down on rogue outfitting, as they call it. And so they're not letting this skiff rental company deliver the skiff to me out at the cabin. So I gotta go way south, then I'm gonna pick up the skiff, while Joe and the camera guy fly there to the cabin. Then when I get the skiff, I'm gonna motor north about 25 miles and hit the cabin. All the things we've done on Your Own Adventures, there's not ever been a time where I had this queasy feeling in my stomach saying, this is crazy, but this one, I got that feeling. I'm a little unsure because when I get around down this narrow and out into what's called Sumner Strait, that's the big ocean out there. So here we are in the land of the midnight sun. Black as the ace of spades. Dredging through a channel that on the map is about that wide. And the captain's up here laughing. But look at this. When you look at the captain, I thought he was a captain. He works for an excavation company. I have a distinct feeling that this guy stole this boat. And there's a very good chance that this is the first time he's operated it. Negotiating these channels, this narrow, thin line right here, in the dark, with a GPS, a headlamp, and some navigation lights on the buoys. I wouldn't advise this to anybody, but so far we've made it. Day 1 from Southeast Alaska. Nothing like a little on your own adventure.
Okay, you guys have a good hunt.
I go. Okay, here I am all alone.
This is what Randy was talking about, huh? Yeah, so do fine.
I haven't seen Randy in years. Really excited to see him, and I just hope things are working out well for him. It's a little scary out there in the boat.
This kind of weather, these kind of seas, this kind of wind, that's why I asked this guy to tow me over here, because we're through the worst of it, I think.
Freezing in here. Well, still no sign of Randy.
It's supposed to get even worse today. By tomorrow, it's supposed to be blowing an extra 15 miles an hour. And it would not be pretty to be out here with just that little skiff right now. Not what I would want to do. As they say, discretion is the better part of valor. And discretion in this case dictated that I ask this boat to take me across this big water, where I'm going to meet up with the camera guy and my buddy Joe. We're going bear hunting.
Hey, see his boat out there. He's finally made it.
We've had way too much adventure already. This is it. Right here is why you come bear hunting in Southeast Alaska. It is so beautiful, so wild, so vast, and there are so many bears. I can't believe I'm here. Me and my buddy Joe Treat are right here, chasing bears, waiting for the opportunity to find exactly what we came for. And what we came for, we already found. It's this. This is why you come to Alaska.
I just can't believe how beautiful it is. Everybody should do this because you just can't. Pictures don't show it, video doesn't show the viewers what really is out here. Everybody that has a chance, you gotta come to Alaska.
Anyone who's thought about coming to Alaska to hunt automatically thinks adventure, just all the things you can put together in a hunt are in Alaska. And there's no hunt that's easier to do than a self-guided black bear hunt in Southeast Alaska. Then we got a little break in the weather here, so we decided to come way up here on the north end. The marine radio made it sound like have better weather up here. Probably in a couple more hours, if there are bears, they're going to be coming out then. So yesterday we had another good weather day in the morning, and we saw bears. Joe, there's a bear right there. See the white tops on the dead trees?
Yep.
And there's some willows right between them?
Yep.
Don't see him now. Just a glimpse going through the trees on the side, on the shoreline there. We're gonna motor downwind to where I saw him go into the trees. See if we can get a better look at what he is and what he's doing. We were out hunting, we went north of here, and the weather broke for just a little bit, and we started seeing bears. Seems to be a better bear. Joe, leave our packs here. We saw a bear, we hit the beach, and we started going towards him. And the bear's coming towards us. We had no idea that bear's coming towards us. It's a boar, but it's a little one. Look around, here he's coming. It's waddling and it's broad in the front. I'm not gonna have any choice but to shoot him in a second. When that bear's coming, and he's coming, and I'm thinking, you know what? If Joe doesn't shoot that bear, or I don't scare it off, we're gonna have an incident. I asked Joe, I said, do you want him? And Joe says, I don't know how big he is. I said, all right, I'm gonna scare him off. And so I stood up and went, boo! and I scared that bear off. And when Joe turned and looked at me, his face was just flushed and his eyes were big and he had this huge smile. And he did not need to kill that bear to have an exhilarating experience. Just getting that close to that bear and having that encounter, that was 99% of the value of what that experience was about. And Joe passed on that bear. And I know a lot of people are gonna say, gee, you went all the way up there, you did all this. Well, guess what? Even though I produce a TV show, I don't feel that I gotta kill something, especially an immature boar or an average size boar, and certainly not a sow, just to make a TV show.
Yeah, we didn't kill anything, but we saw several bears. That was big plus.
What do we see, 5?
Yeah, 5 bears.
I hope that you watching will understand, you know what? Those guys are serious about conservation. Let the small bears go. Let the sows go. And that's what we did. And I don't regret it one bit. Not good, Joe.
Holy crap.
Dang it. Well, those of you not familiar with the intercoastal waterways of the northern latitudes, this is what a 17-foot tide swing looks like. I had to wade to untie the boat the other day at high tide. And now we get a 17-foot swing, and there's low tide about 100 yards out there. And last night, when we set our anchor out there, the wind was blowing the boat out there. So we thought, oh, cool. Doesn't matter, won't have much of a low tide to mess with us. Even if it is low tide, if it comes in 2 feet, we're fine. The wind changed and blew the boat up this way in the interim. And as you can see, we have a few difficulties this morning. Hey man, it's getting kind of steep around here. Whoa. I think they would call that the ship of fools there. Well, Joe, I think the tide has turned.
Yeah, let's go get a bear now.
Joe, is that a bear right there? There's
Where?
a black spot right there where that tree is down over there.
Yep, it is.
Yeah, it is. We saw this one really big bear on the beach, and the tide was coming in, but the wind was blowing in there so hard, and it's rocky shoals like this. I told Joe, you're gonna have to go after the bear.
I think it's a pretty good bear.
There's no way that we can leave this boat beached in these waves and on these rocks. And so Joe goes in. I'm standing out there watching Joe, and he's going down the beach, working his way right along the edge of the trees. And the bear's actually just milling around in one little spot there. I'm thinking, all right, this is it. We're gonna get this big bear. So I'm watching Joe, and he's going down the beach, working his way right along the edge of the trees, and the bear's actually just milling around in one little spot there. I'm thinking, all right, this is it. We're gonna get this big bear.
This tree is 74. That's a little more further than I'm comfortable with. I'm gonna want to get closer.
I mean, he's huge. He's just waddling along. And for whatever reason, bears do just whatever bears do. He decided to walk into the woods. And that was just when Joe had lost sight of the bear. So Joe's thinking he scared the bear off. The bear just grazed around and walked in the woods, probably went in to take a nap or whatever bears do when they leave the beach. And no bear. That's hunting. That's part of what happens when you come and do this stuff. The bears don't read a script. The wind started picking up, it started raining. I'm like, oh man, here we go, back to the terrible weather again. I really didn't think we were gonna see any more bears, because when it's been raining and windy and cold, the number of bears has went way down as far as their visibility. So we're driving along, actually just north of here, about a mile. And Joe taps me on the shoulder. He said, there's a bear over on the beach.
We just spotted a bear right on the other side of this little island here. We're gonna try to cruise, park the boat, walk out to the end of the island. Hopefully it's standing there, and hopefully it's a big bear and we can shoot it.
We go to beach the boat. I'd been there before, so I knew it was a good deep area. And I'm looking at the depth finder and it says it's 6 point some feet. And I see Joe on the bow getting ready to jump off. But I'm thinking he's gonna wait till we get to shore. And at 6 feet, Joe jumps off the bow. he completely disappears. Other than I see him holding his rifle up like this, and he's trying to get to shore. And this water up here, this is cold, cold water. This is like 35-degree water. Once I realized he was gonna live and he was okay, then it was really funny. At first I thought this could be that calamity you fear happening out in remote Alaska. So after the humor of all that, I asked Joe, I said, are you okay? I mean, are you able to go and do anything right now? I mean, you gotta be freezing. He's like, well, let's go see if that bear's there. And after all of that comedy act, we sneak around the corner and here's this nice bear just grazing where he had been. And we sneak right up there. We had it kind of a squirrely wind, so the bear, he sits on his haunches and he's doing this stuff. He can smell something, but he's not sure what. Set up with my back, shoot right off my back down there. All right, put the rangefinder up, 126 yards. Anytime, Joe. And Joe says, I'm gonna take him. I'm like, go ahead. Got him. Real. He's down. Woohoo! He's down. Boom. And he drilled that bear. That bear flies back, runs about 30 yards, does a big cartwheel, ends up in a big ball. And that quickly, Joe's punched his bear tag.
We did it. There you ladies right there. Oh my God. I am soaked, freezing.
You know, some of you watching this probably think, boy, that Randy, he's a swell friend to laugh as hard as he did after Joe shot that bear. But I don't know, it just struck me as so funny that after all of this happened, that bear was still there and Joe was able to shoot it. Joe's a lifelong dear friend, so he wasn't upset that I was laughing about that, and I wasn't laughing at him. I was just laughing at the entire circus that had just unfolded, and somehow, on film, we'd captured Joe shooting a bear in southeast Alaska. I'm sorry, it's still too funny.
Woo, let's go find that bear. Well, he's not too hard to find, I guess.
I don't think he's gonna be a hard one to find. And thankfully, Joe was okay. He was cold, which anyone would be, but he got his bear, and he was excited. I think the excitement within him is probably what kept him as warm as he was on the ride back home that night. I hope when this hunt is all over, that the memories that Joe takes from it are the same as what I'll take from it. First Alaska black bear,
Thanks,
Joe.
That was awesome. Yeah, right there.
You hit him right where you were aiming.
A whole week with one of my best friends growing up, and haven't got to spend a lot of time with him through the years. We've all took our own courses in life, but it's just been super special, and I just can't believe how lucky I am.